Hello. 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 Hello, everybody. Hello. 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 My name is Crisis, and welcome to episode 1 of Documenting My Forever World. Nope. Okay. From the top. Hello. My name is Crisis. Fuck! Okay, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I had this whole little intro bit scripted out and ready to go for you, but this is horrible. I'm not good at this. So I'm just gonna skip the little shenanigans and get straight into it. I'm Batman. I've been playing on this world for 2 years now. Um, I am just now starting to record because I'm using these videos to actually track my progress as I get better through the game. I've improved a lot through these last 2 years, and I want to keep showing my improvement over time. And we'll get to it in a second, but there's a second reason that's a little more shameful. But I guess let's get into the tour. Get tour time, tour time, tour time. Hey, tour time, tour time, tour time. Hey. Okay, so this is the back side of the little starter area here. One of the first things I did was like try to create custom biomes. I wanted to get improved in that, and this is the last of the first attempt. Everything else has been demolished and destroyed, but I tried to make just a mangrove jungle hybrid, and it did not turn out well. It just turned into a mangrove forest and a plains biome. But we can hop up here and get to our first building on the left here, which is just an infestation silverfish XP farm that my girlfriend made here. It's pretty cute. I guess I should get into that. Me and my girlfriend play on this world. So half of these builds are hers, half of these builds are mine. Um, I'll try to tell you which ones we got from reference images and which ones we haven't to kind of show you our progression over time. But from the little Silverfish XP, we go down to the starter beach. This is where our starter house and our fishing dock were when we first started playing. This is where I grew my cactus and my cocoa beans. Um, it didn't do much for looks, but it's nice now. The starter house here was just an experimentation. One of the big things about this world is I want to like experiment with things I haven't used before, so different block palettes. I tried texturing, it was not great, kind of just vomited everywhere. Different wood types I haven't used, just different shapes, everything like that. But like for 2 years ago, it's not bad. First time using like copper and mangrove together. I think the house turned out pretty neat, but it's nothing compared to our newer house over there. It's also not spectacular, but the inside's pretty pretty. Yeah, pretty pretty. Um, but yeah, the new house over there isn't great, but the inside is detailed pretty nice, and we'll get into that in a minute. But if we walk along these loud pressure plates hiding some frog lights underneath, we can come up here to the job board, which is kind of the second reason I'm making these videos. Um, I like to procrastinate a lot. Almost every build you'll see is a work in progress, and I need you guys to kind of hold me accountable on finishing things. I try to hold myself accountable with this, and almost everything is either half done or finished out of order. Um, and I will talk about this while I'm here because I'm not flying up to that big behemoth. Um, I tried to make a Death Star when I first started, first 2 week phase. Um, didn't realize how much work it was going to be. Played until I finished making the sphere. Tried to do the middle interior bit. Made it huge. I kind of just messed it up. Made the turret or the gun um, obnoxiously ugly. And this was all before Stan 616 had to show me up and make such an amazing Death Star build in his hardcore world. But I guess we can move on from that hideousness to our little starter wizard tower, which I kind of designed off of a reference image, kind of just copied it and made a different block palette on it because I wanted to test out different colors. Um, it just housed our enchantment table and our setup there and our brewing setup. Its main purpose was to just be a vantage point for the world. Um, Nothing too crazy, just a lookout point so I can see this side of the marketplace and see the zoo that's going to be coming in over here. Um, but it doesn't serve much of a purpose these days. I brew I brew stuff downstairs when I need to, but that's pretty much the Wizard's Towers. I'm gonna speed run through a couple of these farms we have over here before I get to the zoo. So we have our bamboo farm in this green building here. This building has no significance other than I tried my first like modern technology detailing up there. It kind of sticks out like a sore thumb compared to everything else, but that's the bamboo farm. Right next door is a custom little building I made for my sugarcane farm as we walk along this path. Um, the sugarcane farm has nothing special inside. It is not detailed, it's just there for paper. And then behind it, we have our cute little wool farm where we have every color of wool through here. Um, Next to it is our super smelter, which is not completely finished, but it does its job. It's all hidden underground. And that leads to our zoo section. So the zoo is a project me and my girlfriend are currently working on. We pretty much only work on it together. We have each like location for each exhibit planned out, and we're gonna try to get one of each kind of passive mob in on the surface level area here. And then we have like an underground bit that we're gonna expand into being a mob zoo as well, so that we can have one of each hostile mob on display as well. But this probably won't get any videos or any updates on it because I'll only work on it with my girlfriend. But that leaves this uh, last little building here, which kind of ties into the zoo. This was our original barn building to house our livestock. We moved the sheeps out, but the cows and the chickens are still in there. But that's going to get replaced by a new barn here for the zoo, and they're going to get moved inside. Um, but that's pretty much this side of the lake, so I'm going to move on to the next little portion. Okay, so crossing the river here, we get to my girlfriend's lighthouse, which I believe, got off of a Pinterest reference image. But this lighthouse, we haven't done anything on the inside, but we're probably going to do a buildstone light up here where the light just kind of rotates around like a normal lighthouse would. Um, I don't know how we'll do that yet. That's part of my learning process. Is I'm going to be watching a lot of Mumbo and Jake Hilton Crafts videos on how they integrate redstone into the builds. But behind that is a plot of land I have left unclaimed for a custom jungle biome. I want to learn how to make organics and kind of learn how to make trees and things like that at a better rate because I just don't like Minecraft generated trees. And so my first attempt at that almost 2 years ago was this massive jungle tree to house the nether portal, which we're not going to get into today because I haven't developed it a lot. But I'll make a video on that hopefully and kind of get some work done there and kind of explain my plan for the other two realms um, at a future date. But we can move on to the next bit, which is the marketplace, and I'll clear this up. Okay, so we have a little plot of land set out here, which used to house our villager breeder and our iron farm. But now we're changing it to a little marketplace. We wanted a game feel for trading with villagers, kind of like Stardew Valley when they have festivals and things where you can go to each person's different booth and I know in the game you can only buy stuff from the shop there, but like in the actual game you can run around the town and get everything you need. But we kind of wanted a more condensed game feel here, so we decided to do like a little beach marketplace. We're probably gonna add one more stall in there for another type of villager, and a couple more up top there. Um, but for now, we have our clerics and a butcher over here. They're just chilling. And then we have our fishermen in this cute little hut here, which I believe is a reference image for the fish. Um, and then we have this cute little hut here where our farmers are going to go. Um, we actually run a shop ourselves, which is this little food shop. All that really gets made is the bread. I have automated systems set up back here for everything, for smelting everything and transporting it into this new hopper system. But not new hopper system. Hopper systems aren't new. Okay, that was our little shop we run there. It's connected to the basement of our house, but I'll get to that in a minute. We're going to loop back around the lake and finish over there, which is the viewpoint of the world, in my opinion, and is one of them that I love to just look at all of the time. But we'll end there before we get to the elephant in the room, which we'll get to last. But we're going to move on to the library up here. The library is a cute little building me and my girlfriend made in our creative world and imported in with Lightmatica. Um, I really enjoy it. It looks so cute. There's just one issue. We haven't done the interior yet or put in the villagers. Um, I just haven't needed librarians recently, so I just haven't felt the need to finish this project. But it is just such a cute little build, and I felt like it tied in the view from over there really well, and kind of ties in the view from over there with the stained glass windows. And it is just a nice build. We're going to need to finish the library at some point, but one of the other villager buildings we have here in town is actually the stonemason's hut. I haven't finished the interior here yet. I kind of want to get some copper golem action in here just to make it more lively. But these guys are mainly just used for their quartz trades. Nothing else. They kind of give me a couple emeralds and everything, but they don't do much for me. And it's getting nighttime here, which is a perfect way to transition into the newer edition of the custom biome. This is the second version I've tried to make. You saw the first one at the beginning of the video. I think this one turned out a little bit better. I'm trying to use the pitcher plants and the torch flowers to create like an exotic jungle feel with these custom jungle trees that I tried to make, which gets me into the point of, or back to the point of making custom trees. I want to spend an episode just focusing on trees and learning how to do branches and leaf structure a little bit more. But this area at night just gives off the vibe I want for the world. It's just cute and exotic, and the church looks nice in the background, all lit up. I'll kind of get to that in a minute. I believe that is supposed to be viewed at night, but we'll see that at the end of the video. And then in here is our actual or not our starter home, but our actual home, where we spent time detailing. This is our little entrance space. I have my clownfish. We have our little food and water bowl for our cat Dottie here. We need to get our cat Copper and our cat Bumblebee up here, but they're out on the beach right now. We have a cute little kitchen, and we have our living room with the TV setup and everything like that. And as it's nighttime and I hear the skeletons outside, I'm gonna run upstairs and show you the bedroom real quick. There's not much to it. Little cat tower, some other details. But I'm gonna sleep and get back to the rest of the tour in the morning. So now that it's daytime, I can show you one of the earliest failed projects. I wanted to create a little park area in this spot, and I just never got around to it. It just became an acacia farm over time. It houses this willow tree. You can't really tell it's a willow tree from here. In here, it's a nice vibe, but I want to make this and the water feature a more grand thing in the middle of this park and have it kind of run down all the way. But this is supposed to just be like an accent piece to the greenhouse and bee farm we have up here. I believe we got the exterior like detailing from a reference image, but inside we have it nice and decorated with a little flower bed here, an axolotl pond here, and then our bees. And then out back we have our sniffer sanctuary for this one guy. He's like forever stuck in this corner. I think he's trying to path to something, but he just can't. He kind of lives more of a lavish life than the other sniffers, which are housed in this building. Um, it's nothing special. It's hidden away behind another building. All it does is house these guys who obviously pump out these for a custom biome. I feel bad for them sometimes, but it's the way life goes in the end. But we can move on from the garden and go to the next place. So I bring you to the first useless building on the server. I really wanted to just kind of experiment with color palettes again on this building, and I think I got it off a reference image. Um, Not really my greatest work of art, but it kind of is useless because the inside is just bad. The inside just doesn't look great. There's not much to it. So I just left it alone. I think it's a nice detail. Yeah, but when you look over on that side of the world and look back over here, it fits in nice with the greenhouse and kind of gives another thing to look at other than this blank dock. This will eventually be filled with boats and things. One of the things I want to get good at is world building and like lore. So I'm going to try to put like a purpose behind each thing I do, even if it is just eye candy like this is here and doesn't actually have a function. I kind of get in a bad habit of like, oh, a building has to have a farm in it when it really doesn't. It can kind of just be an art piece. Um, but on this little back pathway here, we just have our gunpowder farm. It's not great. I have to AFK at that dirt platform up there, but that ends us at this little view that I was talking about earlier. This is kind of my view of the world. Um, you can kind of see why job 1 on the job board is to remove the Death Star. I think it just kind of destroys the image and it doesn't look great. But that is pretty much the end of the lake tour. I have a couple other things I got to show you, but I'll wrap it up really quickly, hopefully. Okay, I left out two major buildings around the lake. One is this massive shack that we never got around to detailing. This is just our sorting system. Um, it is currently 10 levels of items. We plan to try to have every item in the game, or at least parts of every item in the game. Might not have variants of every item in the game. Um, but it is pretty much just all the old and reliable redstone sorting here, set up with an observer clock up here. It's nothing special. When we eventually hit bedrock, we'll switch over to these iron golem, or not iron golem, copper golem sorting systems and kind of give this guy a job here. But that is the sorting system, which is the first of the two major buildings left out. And we can get on to the church. I'm not going to go into super detail. I'm just going to kind of go around everything. I could make a whole nother video about this and just kind of explain everything and lore drop around why I decided to make this and everything. But in the other video, I took up like 15 minutes just talking about this the last time I tried to record it. So I'm going to try to not do that this time. As we walk up the steps, you can kind of see the automated wheat field here. That's the whole like functional purpose around this build is if I click this little button here, water disperses and we get all of this wheat for our mud path that's going to be going throughout the world here. Um, it has a just hopper collection system. I failed at trying to make a different collection system, um, but that's the whole functional purpose of this. Everything on the outside is surrounded by this quaint little path, and these green spaces. One thing you'll know about me is I yearn for an urban green space. Um, and one of my big inspirations for this was a castle in Milan, that I visited, and they dedicated a whole like courtyard to just gardens. So I kind of wanted to do the same thing and kind of bring the exotic feel into the church here. So I surrounded the entire church in this, and then surrounded the platform the church lies upon on a massive wheat field, just so it looks better. Okay, but that was the pretty much outside perimeter of the church. It's not completely done. I haven't fully fleshed it out, but I'm gonna set the world tonight and kind of go in F1 and show you the inside of the church. I think it's best viewed at night, and it's just kind of a sight to behold, in my opinion. But that's also because this is probably the best thing I've ever built in Minecraft, bar maybe a massive castle I built one time. But that's about it. So let me get into that. Okay, I set it tonight here, and we're just gonna walk in. Um, this is the view you're greeted with. There's a little bit of lore behind the giant eyeball and the Enderman theme, but not much. This place is still like a massive work in progress. As you can see, there's still details missing from different corners. I just put these little extra rooms in to kind of help flush it out. We have more plans with this, but this is kind of my solo dolo project on the world that I work on all the time and kind of obsess over. But yeah. The one big thing I think I'll tell you is I'm probably going to try to figure out how to detail an organ, and I might do that with the armor stand mod. I might not. We'll see how that goes. But that's the like main floor of the church. It is pretty great. I love it. Um, if you there's some issues with it. I kind of freeballed it. I didn't plan it out or anything. Didn't do any creative. You'll probably see this in almost every video. I'll probably add something to it or do something to fix something. It's just kind of my forever project at this point. But I'm gonna go up these steps and kind of show you the upstairs, and we can move on to the next thing. So the staircase leads up to the roof where you can walk around up top and kind of walk out on this little platform here and kind of view it from inside of the eyeball or outside the eyeball. But it's not spawn proof. I don't really spend a lot of time up there at night. But this is really the second floor. I'm gonna try to maybe add some like prayer things here if I want to go full church. Um, but I haven't done much detailing inside. I've tried my hand at some armor poser mod things here with some statues, but I haven't truly figured out what I want to do with that. And these just lead out to these outside areas. Well, that's some bullshit. Yeah, okay. We're gonna do the rest of this tour during the day, um, and get moving. Now that we're not going to get rudely interrupted by creepers anymore, I guess we can move on to the kind of like frontier and the last like big build that's pretty much done, but needs some more detailing, which is our map room over here. If we just go down this path, past this little villager breeder here, um, we reach the next focal point of this area and kind of where I want to kind of start my world building journey, which is this research facility and map room of the world. You can see we have the world map here. We have the church, we have the Death Star, and our whole little starter lake here. And then this map room, all around it, I'm gonna try to create a little city on this like circular plains area here, and kind of have a school be the focal point. And then the focal point of the school is an exploratory research facility, which is this place. Um, I fully made this on my own. That's why there's these wonky little things here. But yes, I try to use a precedent of this abandoned robotics facility in St. Petersburg um, for this like outside detailing here. It didn't translate well into Minecraft, but I still think it gave off a cool vibe. I just really wanted to pop a purple and pop a color in the world, and I think the void floor plays a good effect into the map room. I'm gonna try to fill out this whole circle and kind of see how far we can develop this world and how far out we can develop this world. You can see we're kind of doing some development up here, but I'm not gonna get into that in this video. This is gonna kind of be the end of the tour. As you can kind of see, we have nothing left to show you. Um, that's the end of it. I don't know how to do these intro bits or exit bits. I'm probably gonna show you a bunch of clips of me failing the first couple of times recording this. If it makes it into the video. But this won't be the normal style of video probably. It'll probably be more supercut video of me just working on things and me rambling as I go on. But I wanted to introduce you to the world before I started that because I felt like that would be kind of weird if I started 2 years in with no explanation. So thank you for tuning in to episode 1 of Documenting the Forever World, and I hope you have a great day. Cut that shit out, cuzzo. Cut that shit out, cuzzo. Cut that shit out. I kind of stole the idea from Stardew Valley. Okay, we can move on. I didn't say anything. I could just kind of look a view. Why is there a bro in my roof? That's fine.